Hello everyone, good morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever you are. You are with me, Tanaka Chirombo, on this episode of Straight to the Point, So today we have a very, honorable guest amongst us, who will be sharing her experience, Give it up, please, for Violet Zulu.
Thank you, Tanaka.
So she's Violet Zulu, So today we'll be talking about, is it okay to share your HIV status in a relationship? So that's the topic today. So to just open up, today's conversation, I would like to hear from you. What made you disclose your status, despite the stigma, despite knowing good, ugamayenda on the street, guys, is it what made you, disclose your status?
Okay. What motivated me was that when I was in school, that is secondary school, Form 3, I disclosed my status to somebody that I trusted to keep the information safe. But this person, ananyamuga weambasuka uzandwina, so it was really that bad. So I sat down to ask myself questions. Okay, if I'm going through this, am I myself or others also go through the same thing? So after contemplating, of course, it was really hard for me. I was stressed out. I wasn't concentrating in class. I had to go back home. It was a boarding school. So I had to go back home to go for counseling. After counseling, I went back to school. I started living life like nothing happened. But then, it's when I figured out that, okay, fine. I think if I am to share my story to everyone out there, I might motivate someone to stop looking down on or to stop looking down. To stop looking down for themselves. So yeah, after that happened, because of course at first it was hard for me to disclose to everyone. And my first platform to
tell me your experience, your first time, standing in public and telling people, like a multitude of people, you're HIV positive. How was that?
I was scared. I was startled. I was like, okay, I don't know the reaction of everyone. I don't know what's going to happen after this. But at the end of the day, everyone was like, yeah, big up. That was really great. You have motivated us. Yeah, that was the feedback.
It's very motivational.
Yeah.
So I would like to understand, you went for counseling because you came from a boarding secondary school.
Yes.
That's where, the whole situation happened. Was the counseling free? How did that process go? Because I've asked this for any young person living with HIV who's in boarding secondary schools who would like to, to go for counseling sessions.
Yeah, the counseling was free because I went to the hospital that I received my treatment, which is Baylor College of Medicine Children's Foundation. They had social workers then, but now they have psychosocial counselors.
That's very great. That's very great. So how did taking medication go at the secondary school after the counseling? How were you taking your medication? How did that go? I would like to understand. How did that go?
Okay, so most of the times I was waiting for people to go out. For example, by break time, everyone is at the dining. In the morning, most of the times everyone I'll get my meds.
I see. So it was all about the timing, where someone is, and basically that's how you maneuvered around it,
Yes.
How did adherence go? Was the adherence very good, or Like, how do you compare before disclosure and after disclosure? How was the adherence? Did it change?
It changed after disclosure.
It changed, huh?
Yeah.
So, diving into our today's topic, how does dating look for someone living with HIV?
Okay.
How has your dating life been like, after you disclose your status, knowing that someone who you're going to date can find this information on Facebook, and on social media networks? How did that look like on your dating life?
It's been very easy because I met my partner on social media as well when I was discussing.
Okay. That's very interesting. That it's been easy. Okay.
It's something that I didn't expect.
Uh-huh.
I was like, okay, maybe this person is just joking. And then I figured out, no, he's serious about it.
Okay, so social media, gave. Okay, that's very interesting. Explain it more. I'm very,
Yeah, so what happened? I was on his face, Twitter, and I was talking about
so
my
Twitter.
yeah. So I was talking about my personal experiences on the journey for HIV treatment. So he was listening everything that I was saying. Then I went to my DM. I found messages. He was like, you know what, spare some time. We should talk. And he dropped his contact. I was like, what? This is not happening.
You're so lucky, because I've asked that question specifically because there are a lot of people, living with HIV who would want to date, but the moment they disclose their status, the stigma, the discrimination around it, is so massive. What would be your advice, to the young people living with
that they shouldn't be so scared because no one knows about the reaction of your partner. You never know about, you wouldn't know of their reaction. Sometimes you might be scared that, okay, if I disclose, maybe this person is going to discriminate me. No, it's all about being open, building up trust. And my issues at discrimination in Sanami Banova and Ashebela than back in the past because people were not literate about HIV.
Don't you think people are just scared of the law? Because there's the HIV Act, which can put people behind the bars. Don't you think people are just scared of that, and it's being practiced underground? When discrimination completely stopped.
I wouldn't say would it completely stop because there are some people all be discriminated and I wouldn't say that some are just scared of the law. No, but they are informed, they are literate about what's going on in the HIV space. And sometimes when you find a good partner, they would ask you, I want to know more about these things. Yeah. There are some people who are willing to learn.
Oh, that is actually good. And your example is one of them. And it's a very good example to share to, the rest of the people living with HIV or affected with HIV, Yeah. So I have this little story. I want to hear your reaction. So this girl is like, my boyfriend told me 2 months ago that he's HIV positive. I've never slept with him without a condom because he's always careful not to. I'm glad that he was considerate, But because of my ignorance, I got scared and left, And then, she asks a question at the end, what are her chances of contracting? She misses the guy. You can tell that this girl wants to be in this relationship, but, due to those scenarios, the guy being HIV positive, as she said, she got scared and, she ran away, she ended it. What would you do in this case if you are the guy?
Okay, so in this case, I don't know the steps that this guy took before disclosing because I believe in before disclosing to your partner, you need to know your partner, you need to learn them. Sometimes because about HIV, what do they understand about it? You can just have a conversation like you're educating the person more about it, then go ahead with disclosure, like creating a rapport so that this person is free to talk about it. Because sometimes you know what, I'm HIV positive, yeah. So when disclosing, it's very important to be mentally prepared of the reaction that your partner will show at the end of everything. So it's just a matter of being prepared. And in any manner, if muntu just because I'm HIV positive, honestly, I'll let them go because I mean,
For real, that is very, it's a very good message out there to, young people living with HIV, that if someone has denied you, that's not there, that wasn't a person meant for you, as you've highlightly put it out.
Because if someone loves you, wouldn't love you with a condition. They have to love you unconditionally, despite whatever it is.
Yeah, most definitely, as the way you've put it out, it's something, that, that's why, we brought you on this space, to also give that message out, to your fellow girls, because it's not everyone who can afford to come out, and disclose their status, So it's very important, and it's very good that you're giving us, such energy and such good messages, for all the viewers out there, So basically, I have another question,
All right, ask.
So, when is the right time to disclose your
Okay.
HIV status to your
So
partner?
disclosing to your partner, it's a very important decision to take because it requires careful consideration. So I should say there's no right time to disclose, but when you are prepared, okay, now this is the time. I should tell my partner. Yeah, tell them, and it's ethical because when you disclose to your partner, it's a like decision to take, and they should be supportive. Sometimes supportive. They get to support you in terms of your medication uptake. Sometimes you can be busy.
Oh, there are some partners who actually escort you to the ART clinic.
Yes, there are.
Oh, that's interesting.
There are. In my case, my partner will always ask me, yeah, like he would want to know everything. It's meaning that
Wow.
on that particular day.
Wow. So you always like an after hospital report.
Yes, I have to explain everything. I have to explain everything after hospital. When I get my viral results, I have to tell him.
Wow, that is, you found your partner is on fire, I hope every man out there is taking notes, on how to, to take care of your woman like that. Yeah. So basically, as you said, there's no right time,
Yeah.
But do you think, how important is, should you disclose after you're married or before you're married, or, as soon as you
I think there's not a specific right time. After marriage, that's not acceptable because you've kept this person in dark. And now you're in marriage, then you're disclosing. What does that mean? You never trusted your partner one, and you're not faithful, because this is a very crucial decision to make before getting married. Like I said, so if you have already done all this, you have made your vows and all that, it wouldn't look good. It's important to tell the person before marriage, and
wouldn't look good.
Yeah.
Because I've read several cases online of some cases of gender-based violence, where the woman disclosed during marriage, and the guy got violent, and beat up the
the
and woman.
Also, I think the best time to disclose is when when you get to know that, oh, this person is very serious with me, that's when to disclose.
Okay, how do you know that this person is serious with me? I'm curious also.
How do you know that this
I'm also
person is
curious.
serious? Actions speaks louder than words.
So actions are speaking louder than words,
Yes.
That is your cue line to say how do you know someone is serious with you.
How do I know that someone is serious? Okay, in my case, I
No,
always
like
know.
like in
Uh,
your case you said.
okay, in my case, I would know that this person is serious when um they're getting to know me better, and they're not bringing anyone between us. Then I know that it's just us.
Wachitatu wachitatu asaoneke.
Hey,
Okay,
if a
so
person doesn't
Violet.
ghost you, that person is yours.
Ah,
Uh-huh.
ghosting and grating, blue ticks and all that. So
Yeah.
Violet, I want you to sum up a message to everyone, living with HIV or affected with HIV. What is your message,
On disclosure or just
Yeah,
general?
generally on disclosure, generally, your message, it's your spotlight right now.
Okay, first I'll start people living with HIV that it is very important to disclose to your partner at the right time before taking big steps in your relationship, because you need to build trust and you need to be free-minded. Ngati munthu ukukaninga panga disclose or you haven't disclosed to your partner, umakhala beni nthuma zina yakuyona kuti okay, so what if he gets to know about my status? What am I going to do? So it's very important to disclose, and I advise it's important to disclose to your partner. For those who are affected, I think when someone is disclosing to them or when they get to know about their partner's status, is very important to get to know more about HIV, what is happening in the HIV space, than making a decision,
Yes.
like a quick decision to say, okay, I cannot manage to handle a person living with HIV, or I cannot take care of a person living with HIV because I don't know anything what to do, or you're just scared that, okay, fine, maybe this person might infect me. No. And nowadays when you're taking your medication, when you're and your viral load is suppressed, the chances to transmit it, they are very low.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's actually good, because
So
that
that's where the
ensures,
concept of
less.
you equals you is coming,
You equals you, okay?
which means undetectable equals untransmittable.
Okay. So thanks very much for that beautiful message, to everyone. So the last thing we're going to do today is we're going to play Spin the Wheel. So you have a chance to win a gift from us.
Okay.
So today's gifts. Let me just put it up. You can see the gifts. So we have KK honey, which is Quito Kitchen honey. It's either mountain or Nika. We have the spirits of Malawi gin right there.
Wow.
If you drink or you can share with someone else. There's Chombe tea there. And then we have a hoodie for straight to the point hoodie. There's a straight to the point t-shirt, and then there's Mzuzu coffee right there.
Wow.
So let's spin the wheel. Let's see what you win. So you ended up winning Malawi gin. So we'll send it to you after the episode. I'll text you. You text me where I should send you the gin.
All right.
Of course, but thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming on the show. It was very motivation to hear from you straight on how you disclose your status, the journey, you seeking counseling, the sort of advice, and how you're in a happy relationship, and with Twitter talks, the live talks, that
Yeah.
actually also helped, and it's actually a good thing for all the young people living with HIV to hear, and people who are also affected, because it's either we're affected in some way, whether we can have a relative living with HIV, or the community we stay in, the people living with HIV. So thank you very much again. Everyone give a round of applause for Violet Zulu.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
And to the audience, and the viewers, see you next week when we bring you another episode of Straight to the Point. Thank you. Have a good day, good afternoon, and a good evening.